If you're watching this video right now, you want to know why so many perfectly good homes are being torn down in Austin, Texas. In this video, we're going to talk to you about where these homes are being torn down, why these homes are being torn down, what you as a homeowner need to know to protect your investment, and whether it makes sense to sink any money into renovations on your home. My name is Edie Embry, and this is my YouTube channel, Edie Knows Austin. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that you can stay up to date on what we like to call Austinomics, the unique intersection where Austin culture and the Austin economy come together. So today I'm walking around Barton Hills, which is one of the central Austin neighborhoods where a lot of the teardowns are happening. And I just want to kind of give you a glimpse of what that looks like here today. Now this like many central Austin neighborhoods, this neighborhood was built primarily in the 50s, 60s and 70s, and over the years it has transformed. It was originally, this end that I'm on right now was originally the less expensive end of the neighborhood, and it was actually, these houses were built in the 1950s, so a lot of single-story homes, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet, that kind of thing. So if we'll look behind me here, we'll see though what's happening. So here's to give you an idea. This one was previously a duplex. It's a single story built in the 1960s, and you know, it's getting ready to be torn down. If you look down this little corridor here, all of these houses are in transition. This one's already been finished. It's a duplex also, but you can see it's a lot different now. What they do with the duplexes now is they sell each side to individual owners like condos. And then, you know, coming down the street, there's one in process here. So just a ton of activity going on right now as we speak. And just a few things to consider if you live in a neighborhood like this in Central Austin. Just want to caution you against putting too much money into your home, because if your house is built between the 1940s and the 1970s and you haven't put a lot of improvements into it, even if you have, there's a good chance that it's going to get torn down. So the main difference about what's happening now in the neighborhood from what happened in the past is that right now, what kind of took me by surprise, up until I would say maybe right before the pandemic, most people who were purchasing a home in this neighborhood, if it was in the entry-level arena, maybe $600,000, they would be looking at making improvements on the home so that it could be more modernized, and assuming that the foundation was good, the plumbing was good, that would be worthwhile. But now perfectly good homes, that even homes that have been renovated, are being torn down. And the reason being that, like you see this house behind me, there's homes in the neighborhood that are going for as much as $2-3 million. So when you start getting to a point where you can spend $1 million on a home and then tear it down and put another home up for $2.5 million, well, then that math starts to add up for the builder. So as you can see, there's a lot of construction going on at the end of the street, and I just want to point out that before, in the past, the house like this one on the corner here, single-story house, they would just renovate them, and you can see how this one has been really nicely fixed up. It's got a beautiful elevation. This one too, a few years ago, this one was completely renovated. They did not tear this one down, but the one right next to it, renovated, original condition. So there's a variety of homes in the neighborhood. So it's really only in these last couple years that we've seen this phenomenon where homes are being torn down that previously might have been fixed up. So what is this all about? I mean, it used to be you could look at the house and say, okay, this house is in disrepair, it's deferred maintenance, it's going to cost too much money to fix it, and it's a tear down. But that is not what is happening anymore. And if I may, I'm going to take a minute to explain what is happening. So the main takeaway here is that what's happening in Central Austin is we're increasingly seeing more and more perfectly good homes being torn down. And when I say Central Austin, I'm referring to south of 183, east of 183, west of Mopac, north of Ben White. And you know, if previously these homes might have been fixed up since they're tearing them down due to the land value increasing so rapidly, at this point, it doesn't really make sense to make improvements to your home. If it was built before 2000 and hasn't had a recent update, I would take a pause before putting any more money into your home, unless you're planning on staying in it and making those improvements for your own personal enjoyment. But if you think you're going to be selling your home in the next 3 years, I just hate to see people throw money away that's not going to get a good return. By all means, if it's for your personal enjoyment, always it's a fair decision to put money into your home. But if it's to get a better price, I'm just not seeing that happening right now, and I honestly don't see that changing anytime soon. Of course, there are exceptions to the rule, which is why it's always wise to consult with a realtor. It's free of charge, and whether it be me or someone else, get the information you need before you put any money into your home. And then the other thing that's happening that's just heartbreaking is a lot of these homes are, you know, the taxes, they're going up based on land value and based on your neighbor's value. So just because your house is in disrepair and it's older does not mean that it's not going to go up on the tax records. So I see more and more of that, and I know that's a difficult equation for a lot of us old timers. So, you know, if you're thinking about doing something with your home, you've been in Austin, you've built up a lot of equity, maybe it makes sense. You can pretty much sell your house now without doing a single thing to it and get top dollar. So anyway, I hope this was helpful, and always feel free to reach out to me for more information. You can text, you can email, you can call.